Thank you. Thank you. Return back. Go home. Aloha. Let's all put our hands together for this cultural troupe. Yes, the university has it all. If you want entertainment, you're going to have it in quantum. And that is what we have just done instead of doing JoJo. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are going into the 2024 Founders Day lecture. I thought the students would be appreciating this now. And it is the second in the series. And it's going to be delivered by a very notable ICA son, and indeed a consummate banker and a technocrat. It is my honor and privilege to invite Dr. Ebenezer, I will call him, Dr. Ebenezer Onyago, Group Managing Director of Zenith Bank PLC. But as he comes to the podium, I'd like to invite the university orator, Mazi Innocent Odoemena, to deliver the citation on this great son of Delta and the world. Mazi Innocent Odoemena, please.
His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Delta State, ably represented by Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Your Excellency, the immediate past Governor of Delta State, the Chairman of today's occasion, the Capacity Vice Chancellor of University of Delta Arbor. Please permit me to quickly give an introduction of our guest lecturer for the year 2024. Standing before you here, ladies and gentlemen, is Dr. Ebenezer Onyago, the Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Zenith Bank PLC. He is also the Chairman Body of Bank's Chief Executive Officers in Nigeria. Dr. Onyago is a seasoned banker and a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICANN, with over 3 decades of banking experience. It may interest you to note that Dr. Onyago attended Benoba Grammar School, Abo, between 1974 and 1979. You can see he's a homeboy. And proceeded to Auchi Polytechnic, Nigeria, where he received a higher national diploma in accountancy. He is an alumnus of the University of Oxford, England, and Salford Business School, University of Salford, Manchester, United Kingdom. At the University of Oxford, he obtained a postgraduate diploma in financial strategy and a certificate in management from the University of Salford. He also holds MBA from Delta State University, Abraka, and was awarded a doctorate of Business Administration honoris causa by the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Dr. Onyago undertook extensive executive level education at Wharton Business School of the University of Pennsylvania, Columbia Business School of Columbia, and the Harvard Business School of Harvard University in the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Onyago is currently serving in the board of the following organizations. 1, he is the chairman, board of Zenith Pensions Custodian Limited. He is member, board of Zenith Bank UK Limited. He is a member, board of FMDQ Holdings PLC. He is a member, Lagos State Security Trust Fund. He is a member, International Monetary Conference, IMC. He is a member, Street Journal CEO Council. He is a member, African Trade Gateway Advisory Council of the African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank. That is not the end, ladies and gentlemen. He is also a member of the Governing Council of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN. Dr. Onyeagwu is also a member, MasterCard Eastern Europe, Middle East and Africa, EEMEA Advisory Board. Can I quickly tell you that Dr. Onyeagwu had served in the following companies: Zenith Bank Ghana Limited, Zenith General Insurance, Zenith Securities Limited, Zenith Assets Management Company, Zenith Medicare Limited, and Africa Finance Corporation, AFC. I need to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that Dr. Onyeagwu has also received several prestigious awards and recognitions, which include the following: Bank CEO of the Year 2019 by the Champion newspaper, Bank CEO of the Year by Business Day newspapers for 3 consecutive years, 2020, 2021, and 2022. Bank CEO of the Year 2022 by Leadership newspaper. Best Banking CEO of the Year 2023 in Africa by the International Banker. Bank CEO of the Year 2023 by New Telegraph. Doctor of Business Administration honoris causa by University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Your Excellencies, the Chairman of the occasion, my Vice Chancellor, if I continue to describe and define Dr. Onyeagwu, we may spend the whole day here. So permit me to make my task this morning a simple one by introducing to you somebody I would refer to as a DK in the banking sector. I see him also as an Eworo of the global economy. I am talking about an expert in financial matters. I am talking of an astute manager of men and materials. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite to the podium this special son of Ekaland to give us the 2024 lecture of this series. Dr. Onyeagwu. You have a copy?
Thank you very much, the orator of the very renowned and soon to become the record-breaking pace-setting university in the world, University of Delta. Permit me to just go through a brief of protocol, because it's fitting that honor and recognition should be given to whom is due. The visitor to the University of Delta State, Agbo, His Excellency, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff Oborowori, Executive Governor of Delta State, who is here ably represented by the Deputy Governor. I call him the only sheriff among the governors. And I think Delta State is really blessed to have him, a very perfect gentleman. There's no time I call him. If he sees my missed call, he will return the call. Last night, when I called him, he didn't answer. He called me back and said, I hope you'll be at the lecture. I said, Your Excellency, whatever you ask me to do, I will do. And he told me, unfortunately, he won't be here because of a conflicting, very crucial assignment. I think there is a funeral somewhere that he's attending. Otherwise, he would have been here. Let me also recognize His Royal Majesty, Dr. Benjamin Ikechukwu Agbekwuzi, the Dean of Agbo Kingdom, who is very well represented by the retinue of chiefs in Agboland, and His Royal Majesty, Dr. Emmanuel Efezomos II, the Obi of Owa, who is also very well represented by the chiefs. The Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council, University of Delta, Agbo, Emeritus Professor Emmanuel Nwanze. the former governor of Delta State, Chief Dr. Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, the Ekweme, I think I would rather call him the Ekweme of the universe. A man who is given to very quiet, but yet dogged and very innovative move. Ekweme, your respect and honor will forever be cherished. The Vice Chancellor, University of Delta, Agbo, Professor Stella Chiemeke. And let me also recognize the presence of the chairman of NDDC, our own dear brother and son, Mr. Chedu Ebia. I call him SSG Emeritus. I'm sure in the course of time, that title may change to SSG Chairman, Emeritus Chairman, given what I know he will be leading the NDDC team to achieve. The Registrar, University of Agbo, University of Delta, Agbo, Barrister Raymond Omagbemi. The Bosa, University of Delta State, Agbo, Iko Gosoni Nwachomoya. Other principal officers of the University of Delta State, Dean of Faculties and Heads of Schools and Department, University of Delta State, Agbo. Principal officers of the Student Union Government and students of Delta State, Delta Agbo. Where are they? I can't hear your voices. Very good. We hear you loud and clear. Gentlemen and ladies of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you know you save the best for the last, and of course, my dear wife, Mrs. Kachi Onyago. The Bible said in the book of Proverbs 18:22, it said, "He who finds a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from the Lord." The biggest favor I have is the favor of the gift of my wife. She made sure that I prepare for this and not only come in and said she will accompany me. Occasionally, I call her the app that God has designed to control, monitor, and bring out the best in me. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to be here. And let me start by saying that it will always be good for us. Our own is our own, and our own will never spoil. It gives me a great pleasure to be invited to deliver the second Founders Day lecture of the University of Delta, Agbo. My profound gratitude goes to the management of this institution for establishing the noble tradition of the Founders Day lecture. Your dedication to promoting a culture of intellectual discourse and reflection is truly admirable. I wish to take a moment to express my gratitude to the immediate past governor of Delta State, His Excellency Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, and his administration for their foresight in establishing the University of Delta, Agbo. Agbo, a car will never remain the same with the inception of this school. It's just a matter of time for us to see that there are certain natural events, natural occurrences that go with wherever you have a university. Today you talk about Ife. The claim to fame you have in Ife is the University of Ife. And that will also be our portion regarding this university. It is beyond question that the University of Delta, Agbo, alongside other tertiary institutions he established throughout the state, has granted Deltans and Nigerians broader access to quality education. That legacy is certain to stand the test of time. Today, I will be exploring a topic close to my heart, one of crucial significance to our dear nation, transforming potential into prosperity, harnessing Nigerian youth population for economic growth and national renaissance. This topic is especially pertinent as Nigeria stands on the brink of a democratic dividend or bomb that is poised to reshape our developmental journey. The youthful energy and zest, entrepreneurial spirit, and innovative prowess of our young citizens are unarguably the most valuable assets we possess in our quest for socio-economic transformation. As we navigate through the nuances of this topic, I shall provide a contextual background to Nigerians' demography and population versus economic growth rates nexus. Subsequently, I will shed light on the attributes of Nigerian youths and their current realities, challenges, and the consequences of underdevelopment of Nigerian youthful human capital. Furthermore, the concept of demographic dividend and strategies for harnessing youth potentials will be examined. We will then consider case studies and success stories from across the globe. This will be followed by an assessment of youth involvement in national development and the road to national renaissance. The discourse will culminate in conclusion that ties the explored themes. I invite your participation in this voyage of introspection and initiative as we seek to chart a new course for Nigeria, a course that leads to prosperity for all and a renaissance that will be remembered for generations to come. Let me pause here to say that there's something that is uniquely different about Nigeria. Nigeria has what most countries in the world do not have. If you take a look at Nigeria, you look at West African population. Nigeria has about 52% of the market. What everybody is looking for, entrepreneurs, business people everywhere, they are looking for market. Nigeria has the market. The only problem we have in Nigeria is that we have the market and the market is open to external bodies. We have the market, people are producing and selling into Nigeria. We have the market, we are consuming what we are not producing. That is the crisis we have in the financial sector. The moment we start producing what we eat, what we consume, and export what we produce, this country will become an Eldorado. And that is the challenge we have for the youth. See, the strength of any community, of any society, is seen in the power of the youth. Hence, it's always said that when there is time of war, who do you call for to go for war? They call the able-bodied men. Where do you find the able-bodied men? You find them among the youths. You have the youths if we are here. The transformation of our country is in your hands. The transformation of this country is not in the hands of those at the boarding gate. It's at the hand of those who are struggling to find the boarding pass. You are looking for the boarding pass. Most of us are getting closer to the boarding gate. Get your boarding pass. Do what you need to do. Leave this country to prosperity. We can do it. This country will rise. In 2022, Nigeria was home to about 218 million people, making up 2.74% of the world's total population, according to the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, UNDESA Population Division. On the other hand, in 2022, Nigeria's gross domestic product, GDP, was $477.39 billion, representing a mere 0.48% of the global GDP, which stood at 100.14 trillion, according to IMF reports. What this says is that while Nigeria accounts for 2.74% of the world population, in terms of prosperity, in terms of wealth, we account for 0.48. Therefore, what are we accounting for? Poverty. What are we accounting for? Underdevelopment. But this cannot continue. We have to have a paradigm shift. Things have to change. Despite being the world's sixth most populous country, Nigeria ranks only 27 in terms of its share of the global GDP. This gap highlights the challenges in leveraging the nation's vast population to achieve significant economic growth and prosperity. From an estimated 2.5 billion in 1950, the global human population surpassed 8 billion in 2022. According to UN projection indicate that this number could rise to 8.5 billion by 2030, 9.7 billion by 2050, and potentially 10.4 billion by the 2080s. According to the UN, over half of the anticipated global population growth from 2022 to 2050 is expected to occur in 8 countries: the Democratic Republic of Congo, Egypt, Ethiopia, India, Pakistan, the Philippines, Tanzania, and Nigeria. And we can connect with this because it's so easy for us to discern this. A young man and a young woman gets married. The next thing is we're asking, when will the babies come? Yes, it's good for us to ask when will the babies come. We should also be asking the question, what are we doing to ensure that we can look after the babies as they come? So if we are looking for population growth, we are one of those that United Nations is forecasting to be the center of population growth in the world. But we need to seize that opportunity to also become the center of development, the center of business initiative, the center for development of SMEs. At times when I look at what is before us, I wish I can push the hand of clock to become much younger. A lot is available in our country to be done. Youth, wake up. Students, can you hear me? What did I say? Thank you. So this projection presents Nigeria with significant challenges and also vast opportunities. Nigeria's demography. Based on the 2006 population and housing census, Nigerian population stood at 140 million, more than tripling since 1960. By 2010, this figure had risen to an estimated 161 million and continued its steady ascent to approximately 184 million in 2015, reaching 223 million by 2030. The World Bank reports that between 2012 and 2022, Nigeria experienced an average annual population growth of 2.35%, with prospects for more growth in the coming years. The graph you see on the multimedia will show you the position and the pattern of our population growth. A close look at Nigeria population structure reveals a youth-dominated populace with 70% below 30 years of age. 42% are under 15, 54.8% fall within the working ages of 15 to 64, and only 3.1% are 65 and above. The significant youth segment, ages 15 to 29, represents an opportunity for realizing a demographic dividend. However, this potential will only be harnessed through immediate and strategic investment in our young people, as outlined in the National Youth Policy of 2019. The table you also see will show you the pattern of the demography of our population. What we have is that we have a young population. If you go to places in Europe, the reverse is the case. What they have is an aging population. Having a young population means we have active people who will need to feed. We have active people, you look at it, at my age, can I finish one pack of Indomie? No. But somebody between age 15 to 30 can eat 3, 4. So it is within this bracket you have consumption. Can I also go out in those days to say, no? I can't try to no now. The energy is not there. But it is in our youth, we have people who can no. To no means to go and till the ground and dig off 400 holes for the planting of yam. I did it when I was much younger. Do you expect me to do it? It cannot happen. So who are those to do it? They are the youth. So population versus economic growth rate. The debate on the interplay between population and economic growth is deeply rooted in the very origins of economic thought. It is encapsulated in the 1798 seminal work of Thomas Malthus, an essay on the principle of population, where he contended that population growth could potentially outstrip increases in production. Malthus maintained that while population might grow exponentially, if you like, geometrically, production could increase only linearly, that is arithmetically, potentially leading to dire consequences such as widespread poverty. For as long as we have population growth going ahead of the economic growth, the only recipe you have is a recipe of economic disaster. So if you see the graph shows a pattern of economic growth versus population. It is something that is worrisome that we need to check. Reflecting on Mathuson theory, Nigerian recent history serves as a pertinent example. The nation enjoyed an era of economic prosperity early in the previous decade, with economic growth outpacing population from 2010 to 2015. Economic growth was 8.01% in 2010. It fell to 4.3% in 2012. In 2014, it rose to 6.31%, while population growth was trailing behind at 2.74% in 2010, increasing marginally to 2.75% in 2020, and in 2014, it declined marginally to 2.63%. However, starting from 2015, Nigeria experienced a notable deceleration in economic growth, with rate dropping to 2.65 in 2014, followed by a contraction of minus 1.62% and a modest recovery of 0.81% in 2016 and 2017, respectively. This slowdown allowed population growth, which decreased slightly to 2.51% in 2016 before a slight uptick to 2.53% in 2017, to surpass the pace of economic growth. And the other thing we need to be mindful of is that a scenario of poor economic development is dangerous for everyone. A young man who is newly married, who has no work to do, he has his wife at home, he is sitting down. The wife enters the bathroom, he looks at the waist. The wife serves him food, he looks at the waist. Where do you think they will end up next time? Children will be coming every 9 months. But when the man is gainfully employed, he gets out, he goes to work, he comes back. When the woman is tapping, he says, sorry, I'm tired today. What happens? The rate at which work in progress in terms of production of baby begins to be declined. Therefore, it's important that youth, it's either we get engaged or we start creating a bigger problem we are not able to solve. So this imbalance poses significant questions regarding the long-term viability of Nigeria's economic trajectory relative to the population dynamics in the country. Now, attributes of Nigerian youth. Nigerian youths are renowned for their determination and resilience in overcoming challenges. Irrespective of challenges, it does not deter the remarkable optimism, resilience, strength, productiveness, and hard-working spirit that defines them. And I tell people wherever I go to all over the world, I said, if resilience was a product, no country will have it much more than Nigeria. We tolerate a lot, we go through issues, and when we go through, the next thing we are talking about is how do I survive this? How do I navigate it? But we need to begin to turn these major attributes into economic initiatives. The ethos of can-do spirit is ingrained in every Nigerian youth, driving them to defy odds and persistently pursue their goals. A compelling example of this is exemplified in the journey of Victor Osimhen, who transcended his humble beginnings in the slums of Olusosan, Lagos State, to become a symbol of countless youths in Nigeria and beyond. His unwavering resilience and determination propelled him from the streets of Lagos, where he hawked pure water, to the pinnacle of Italian football, culminating in his recent accolade as the Confederation of African Football May Player of the Year. And I don't think he's yet done. Nigeria's dancehall king and musician, Pantheraki, is another testament to the can-do spirit. He used to sell rat poison in the streets of Lagos. But his background did not limit his success. Instead, it motivated him to strive for stardom, and he achieved it. Today, he's an award-winning singer whose story is a true inspiration. The stories of Osime, Patoranking, and other notable outstanding Nigerian youth epitomize the resilience and tenacity displayed by many Nigerian youths who, despite facing seemingly insurmountable odds, strive to break barriers legally and carve out path to success. In the words of Benjamin Disraeli, former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, the youth of a nation are the trustees of prosperity. The wealth of Nigeria that we have failed to make over the years can only be made by the youths. Nigerian youths exhibit a strong ambition and motivation to succeed, coupled with deep-seated desire to make a positive impact on their communities despite prevailing socio-economic challenges. They value education and sustained pursuit for academic and intellectual achievement. The commitment to education is evident in the significant number of Nigerian students, totaling 99,985, enrolled in universities in the UK alone between 2017 and 2022, according to Olubimi Tunji-Ojo, the Minister of Interior. Nigerian youth studying abroad have consistently demonstrated academic excellence in various disciplines. In 2022, 22-year-old Emmanuel Ohuabunwa made headlines at Johns Hopkins University by becoming the top graduating student with a near-perfect GPA of 3.98 in neuroscience. Similarly, in 2015, Nigerian youths in the UK distinguished themselves academically. Evansi Ochuko Iwure Jr. became the youngest graduate in the 166-year-old history of Royal Holloway University of London, earning a first-class degree in economics. That year, Alexander Chinedu Obiechina received the Neville Gound Prize for his outstanding final MBA project at Cardiff Metropolitan University. Additionally, Oluwatobi Olusukomi won the William Chanley Prize at the University of Cambridge for achieving the highest honors in law. In Japan, Ufo Tekong broke a 50-year university record, graduating as the best all-rounder with a first-class degree in electrical engineering, achieving the highest grades in the university in half a century. Furthermore, Nigerian youths are recognized for their creative prowess, industriousness, sportsmanship, robust entrepreneurial spirit, which have fueled the remarkable growth witnessed in the nation's entertainment industry and the emergence of numerous innovative startups. A very good example is Anthony Joshua, a prolific boxer, a two-time former unified world heavyweight champion, and John Adebayo Bamidele Adeboiga, known as John Boyega, a well-renowned actor and producer. But then, let's consider the realities of Nigerian youth. 1, declining standard of education and cybercrime. Former Secretary General of United Nations Ban Ki-moon once said, and I quote, "Investing in education is investing in the future. It is the key to unlocking the potentials of individuals and societies alike." Yes, I grew up, I'm a homeboy. I went to primary school in my town, secondary school here. We went to farm every Saturday, in some cases Sunday. But if I ended up in the farm, I would not be where I am. Education is key. Education creates awareness. No wonder they say knowledge is power. So for the youth, if there's something you must get early and get it very quickly, get education. That is why I will continue to commend the idea of establishing 4 universities, despite the fact that we already had one before, by His Excellency, Dr. Ifeanyi Ekweme. I think we need to commend him once again. One of the foremost realities confronting Nigerian youth is the declining condition of educational system in the country. This is evident in the dilapidated state of educational infrastructure, prohibits cost of tertiary education that has reached most parents' income, and outdated curriculum focused on academic credential rather than entrepreneurship and vocational skills. This situation highlights the urgent need for educational reform. Public tertiary institutions frequently experience prolonged strike, spanning almost a year, as was the case in 2020 and 2022. This disruption severely affects the academic progress of students, leading to frustration and demoralization. Consequently, pursuing a degree, which ideally should take 4 years, for most courses almost becomes an arduous 5 to 6 years. In some cases, much more than that. The obstacle delays academic advancement and diminishes the chances of securing productive employment and contributing to society. Even when Nigerian youth successfully navigate the educational hurdle, the job market presents limited opportunities. This is where we now need to begin to have a change in paradigm. We should not be educating to be employed. We should be looking at educating to become the employer. Alarming unemployment rates ensnare young individuals in a cycle of poverty and dependence. The scarcity of job opportunities strains their patience and motivation, compelling them to resort to criminal activities to survive. Many Nigerian youths, deprived of education and viable employment opportunities, are disillusioned by the dire state of the country. Both talented and inexperienced individuals are immigrating at an alarming rate, with some braving the perilous journey on foot through the treacherous Sahara Desert and the tumultuous Mediterranean Sea to reach Europe. Whatever it is, for those who have the plan, you will have work in progress. I beg you in the name of God, put an end to it. No matter where you go to, no matter what you do, there's no place like home. Others are drawn into criminal activities and substance abuse, with internet fraud commonly known as Yahoo Yahoo becoming a prevalent trend. What started as isolated instances of deviant criminal behavior has now proliferated into a widespread epidemic as youths are lured by the allure of quick wealth, microwaving success without adhering to conventional methods. Internet fraud akin to contagious disease spreads rapidly, fueled by pervasive influence of social media and internet. The sight of young individuals barely out of secondary school flaunting expensive cars worth millions only serves to correct impressionable minds further, exacerbating the relentless pressure from peers. This is where we too as society will begin to ask questions. In those days growing up, you come back, you have something that your mother, your father didn't buy for you. You will need to explain where you got the money from. But these days, you find a young man who comes and he's dangling a key. He's never done anything. He's never tilled any ground. And we are celebrating and clapping. He just bought a new car. That tendency has to stop. So some view internet fraud as a shortcut to success, while others justify their action under the pretext of reclaiming ancestral wealth from the white man. Extreme poverty also pushes some individuals into illicit activities. However, this reason, though rooted in various circumstances, do not excuse participation in financial crime. You have no action whatsoever to justify a crime. There are never any shortcuts, and anyone who tells you there is a shortcut is blowing smoke. This was quoted by Malcolm Gladwell, author of the New York Times bestseller. Young people must understand the consequences of engaging in fraudulent activities. These consequences range from being jailed to forfeiting their so-called cash out, becoming an oath taker, one who has benefited from Yahoo trade but lost it all, losing the chance to have a life worth living, and profiling that comes from their actions that destroy the image of hardworking youths within and outside the country. There are numerous cautionary tales, such as that of a promising Nigerian entrepreneur featured in Forbes 30 under 30 list, who was convicted in the USA for involvement in an $11 million email and computer hacking fraud scheme, resulting in a 10-year prison sentence. Another example is an Instagram influencer dubbed the Yahoo King of Nigeria, who was apprehended by the Dubai Police Department in 2010. In both cases, the wrongdoers face legal consequences and their assets seized. Nigerian youths need to wake up to the reality of this risk and reject internet crime, as well as refrain from being manipulated to serve as political thugs during election. Instead, they should look up to exemplary figures like Chimamanda Adichie, a renowned writer, David Adedeji Adeleke Davido, a celebrated musician, and Victor Osimhen, a distinguished footballer, etc., as role model. Youth, I speak to you here. Why are you allowing, like I said, men and women who are at the boarding gate to begin to determine and shape the future, which they will not be part of, that future which belongs to you? We need to begin to step up. We need to begin to come forward. Our voices must be heard. We need to come to the room. Not just come to the room, we need to come to the table. Another challenge Nigerian youth have is peer pressure and erosion of societal values. Without civic morality, communities perish. Without personal morality, their survival has no value. Bertrand Russell, renowned British mathematician and philosopher, stated this. For decades, peer pressure has remained a prominent concern for Nigerian youth, epitomizing the adage, bad company corrupts good morals. This massing has long served as a moral compass for children, guiding them towards positive association. However, in the face of witnessing peers achieving similarly lavish lifestyle through dubious means, many young Nigerians succumb to the allure of quick wealth, leading down paths of crime. So it reminds me of a story when we were in secondary school, and we visited the home of one of our classmates. We were about 4. And the man was asking us, yes, who is your father? I know your father. He got to one man, one of the students. I won't mention the name. He said, oh, you, I know your father. I'll say, Lady Woni Buruku. I hope you are Loni Buruku. He said, your father was a Confucianist, that one who created problems everywhere. I hope you will not grow up creating problems. So it's important that we be mindful of those we spend our time with. However, in the face of witnessing peers achieving similar lifestyle through dubious means, many Nigerian youth succumb to the allure of quick wealth, leading them down to the paths of crime. A chilling incident is in 2022 in Abeokuta, Ogun State. It's a stark reminder of the depth to which this desperation can lead. 3 teenagers seduced by the false promises of wealth through macabre rituals gruesomely murdered a young female acquaintance, following instruction gleaned from social media. Confessions during their police parade revealed the gruesome details of their crime. I can go on and on listing various challenges and the realities facing the Nigerian youth. I will skip them and move straight to challenges facing the youth. I'll move quickly to consequences of unemployment and human capital development. One of the consequences of unemployment that we have is the Japa syndrome. Japa is actually coming from the Yoruba word. Japa means to disappear. So it's just to run away, to escape, which has now found its way into Nigerian slang and has become a colloquial expression used to convey the idea of swift and evasive action in the pursuit of greener pasture. You don't need to run away. This is home. All of us will stay here, will right the wrong, and lead this country to prosperity. Nigerian net migration rate is minus 0.73 per 1,000 population, indicating a concerning trend of population immigration. This exodus impacting every sector with professionals across various disciplines resigning in significant numbers, from university lecturers to high school teachers, medical professionals, bankers, engineers, IT and experts. A disheartening wave of resignation is sweeping across different professions. Widespread dissatisfaction is driving many to seek better opportunities overseas, leading to a brain drain that threatens Nigeria's stability and growth. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors disclosed that approximately 50% of Nigerian doctors had immigrated in 2023. The current doctor-patient ratio stands at about 1 to 10,000, a stark contrast with the World Health Organization recommendation of 1 to 600. The Japa syndrome is somehow reminiscent of the Andrew checking out. I'm sure we are familiar with the Andrew checking out syndrome of the 80s, which has now been replaced by Japa. I fast forward to 106. Before 1980s and from the 1950s to the 70s, Nigeria witnessed a steady stream of citizens migrating to United Kingdom and other developed nations for educational pursuit, and in some cases, administrative knowledge acquisition, with the intention of returning to contribute valuable skills to nation building. However, the migration landscape took an advanced turn in the late 80s following the collapse of oil prices. So the idea of Japa didn't start now. The reason we have people still Japaing and running away is as a result of the fact that we do not have enough economic activities to engage all. That is the essence of this topic, that for us to be able to achieve that, we need to begin to engage the youth. So I quickly move for time to go to another implication of what we have not engaging the youth is the social unrest. It is commonly said that an idle man is the devil's workshop. For as long as a man's mind is never empty, a mind that is not productively engaged is thinking of other issues other than production. So where you don't have the mind that is productively engaged, you have such minds engaging in evil. So the inability of successful Nigerian government to leverage the demographic advantage presented by its growing young population could result in severe consequences for Nigeria, akin to the repercussion witnessed during the Arab Spring uprising in 2010. The Arab Spring originated in Tunisia in 2010 as a response to unemployment, corruption, inequality, triggered by self-immolation of a young Tunisian street vendor protesting the police harassment. This event ignited widespread popular discontent across the Arab world. This snowballed in a somewhat domino fashion to the Occupy movement across developed nations and the rise of populism in the political landscape. Inspired by the Arab Spring, Occupy Wall Street emerged in 2011 as a protest against economic inequality and injustice. It spread to 28 cities in the United States, European capitals, global financial sector, reflecting a shared concern over these issues. For the sake of time, I move quickly to strategies for harnessing the potentials of Nigerian youth. You see that from number 137. And in diving into that, I'd like to quote the late Secretary General of United Nations, Kofi Annan. He said, "I'm convinced more than ever that any society that does not succeed in tapping into the energy and creativity of its youth will be left behind." With Nigerian projection to become the third most populous country in the world by 2050, concerns about the availability of opportunity for effective youth engagement are mounting. These concerns are echo of the Methuselah theory of population. However, a novel viewpoint is gaining traction, one that sees Nigerian youth board not as a challenge but as an asset. This paradigm shift recognizes that Nigerians' real asset do not necessarily consist of its vast oil and gas reserve and other minerals buried beneath its earth's crust, but also of its young population. Nigerian youths are invaluable due to their creativity, entrepreneurial vigor, innovative flair, as evidenced by the dynamic music, film, and technology subsector of Nigeria's digital and creative economy. These potentials can be enhanced in the following areas. How do we begin to engage the youth? How do we begin to see that there is economic benefit that we're extracting from the youth? One, in the area of digital economy. The World Bank's Digital Economy Diagnosis Report identified Nigeria as a country uniquely positioned to benefit from the burgeoning digital economy. Nigeria's clear digital advantage, a growing mobile and internet subscriber base, burgeoning tech startup ecosystem, robust mobile broadband infrastructure, enhanced internet connectivity, and a young and tech-savvy demographic places the nation favorably to explore the digital economy to spur economic growth and improve social outcomes such as employment generation. Unlocking Nigeria's digital potential promises substantial economic value across sectors. The World Bank Forum knows that Nigeria is tapping only a minuscule portion of the global digital economy, valued at over 14.5 trillion in 2021. However, the country is poised to capture a more significant share of this expanding economy by harnessing digital transformation to unlock new economic prospects in pivotal sectors like agri, education, financial services, healthcare, commerce, transport, and government services. Indeed, the rise of Nigeria as Africa's largest economy owes so much to ICT sector along the subsectors such as e-commerce, arts, and entertainment. The National Bureau of Statistics report that the ICT sector, growing at 9.76% in 2022, contributed 16.51% to nation's GDP. Nigerians' burgeoning and youthful population remains the nation's most valuable asset. With over 223 million inhabitants, 70% under 30, and added to technology, the youthful demographic is poised to inject innovation and creativity in developing robust digital economy, exploring the plethora of associated opportunities. Such opportunities include digital marketing, software development, e-commerce venture, telemedicine, augmented reality experiences, etc. We live in an era now where with digital technology you can market anything. We live in an era where with digital technology you can control farming. And we are having a number of youthful individuals who have a bias in tech, developing what you call application programming interface, API, that are being employed to harness and bring out the best of businesses. We are transiting steadily. In the global economy, you are going to end up having that every company you see a bank, all of them will transit to becoming a tech company. So there is huge opportunity in writing the program. There is huge opportunity. The niche spaces are enormous. So the digital economy undoubtedly presents limitless potential for Nigerians to enhance economic and social outcomes. Take, for instance, the combined market capitalization of three major corporations in the US. Apple is valued at $2.99 trillion. Alphabet is valued at $1.75 trillion. Meta at $909. These three US firms that are digital companies, IT companies, their total market capitalization is $5.64 trillion. Over double the GDP of Africa, which stood at 2.86. So here we are talking about the fact that just these firms I mentioned in the US, who are tech companies, they are richer than the whole of Africa. So if these companies are richer than the whole of Africa, what are we waiting for to begin to develop our own digital prowess? We don't need to begin to build those capabilities to become the Apple or Amazon today. But in our own little stride that we do it consistently, we'll begin to transform. And you have a situation where from one person starting from one corner shop, you have one person and the next thing you are employing 2 to 3 people. If we do that and do the distribution in terms of population, in no time, we'll begin to see a drop in the unemployment rate in the country. So this vividly illustrates the profound potential impact that digital firms could wield on the Nigerian economy. Closely related to that is the tech subsector. The digital economy encompasses a broad spectrum of economic activities facilitated by digital technologies and the internet, including e-commerce, digital marketing, online banking, telecommunication services, and digital entertainment, among others, impacting various industries and transforming traditional businesses. The tech subsector, on the other hand, specifically focuses on development, innovation, and provision of technological products and services such as software, hardware manufacturing, telecommunication infrastructure, semiconductor production, emphasizing the creation and advancement of technology itself. This also presents a huge opportunity. And interestingly, when you get to a place in Lagos they call Computer Village, those you see who are dominant, you say your phone is bad, they take it to you. Who are the people doing it? They are not graduates. I'm sure you have seen different clips of people who indulge in internet fraud, where they will tell you they can manipulate the phone and send dodgy and fraudulent alert of deposit. And each time you look at those who they did not go to school. These are people who are just creative. But the question is, why don't we bring this to a more creative and more impactful manner? Instead of using it to defraud, let's bring it to enhance business development, and we'll begin to see development, and we'll see the rise of digital subsector in the entire economy. So, in fast forwarding, technology is the great equalizer, giving young people from all backgrounds the opportunity to innovate and succeed. This was quoted by Mark Zuckerberg, co-founder and CEO of Meta Platform. A testament to the industry vibrancy is the keen interest in coding among Nigerian youth, fueling developer communities, and a proliferation of tech hubs or centers that essentially support software developer communities, which is the lifeblood of tech companies seeking to offer innovative solutions to meet varying needs of customers. Africa is emerging as a powerhouse in software engineering, with cities like Lagos, Nairobi, Joburg, and Cape Town as the leading hubs. This vibrancy attracted international attention, evidenced by Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's surprise visit on August 30th, 2016, a day dubbed as Silicon Valley's arrival in Nigeria. According to Facebook CEO, Nigeria's promising tech and entrepreneur ecosystem played a significant role in his decision to visit Nigeria on his first ever sub-Saharan African visit. In Nigeria, he visited Yabakon Valley, the nucleus of Nigeria early tech startup, such as CC Hub and Andela. In May 2088, we saw the launch of NG Hub by Facebook in Yaba, an unprecedented initiative to empower 50,000 Nigerian youths and SMEs and entrepreneurs with digital skills. I'm going to be paraphrasing. Let me say that Zenith Bank recognized the relevance of the tech subsector, that in 2019, we started having what we call the annual tech fair. And in this annual tech fair, what we've been doing is we create an opportunity for youthful Nigerian youths engaged in the tech subsector to come and pitch and make different presentations. And it's incredible the kind of creativity that we see. And we've done it. We started in 2019. We couldn't do it 2020 to 2021 and 2022 because of COVID. Each time we do it, we see very outstanding talents on display. And we register almost over 5,000 applicants. We take them through the screening process. And at the end of the day, we have about 10 to 12 finalists making the final pitch. The one of last year was won by a lady. It was won by a lady, and it went with a cash prize of 20 million. Then the runner-up went home with 15 million. Apart from them winning these cash prizes, we put them in our mentorship school. The idea is that we don't want these ideas to go. We put them in our mentorship school where we begin to mentor them on business ownership, the discipline of running a business. We are looking forward to how we can incubate them to become the future champions of tomorrow. Because if you look at Nigeria today, there are less than 150 listed companies on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, I think, I've forgotten, I think we are like, all share index is about 50,000. But if you have a crazy rich American coming into this country with about, call it $50 million, he will almost completely buy out all the listed companies in Nigeria. So where are the listed companies that will be standing shoulder to shoulder with the giants of tomorrow if we don't have our youths who we can now incubate and breed them and get them to be able to commercialize and scale their ideas and creativity? That is what Zenith Tech Fair is doing. I want to see members of University of Delta, the one we had last year. We had representative from Denis Osadebe University. I'll be glad to have students from University of Delta participating. Then I move quickly to the creative sector. Before I speak on the creative sector, I give you a snapshot of what the banking community has been doing. You know, we have the National Art Theatre where Festac 78 was hosted. And after a while, it was still in use. You know, a number of musical events have been held there. But in the last 20 years, it has been in a state of disrepair. It's gone down, it has decayed enormously. The bankers community, working in conjunction with the central bank, have raised over $100 million to review that. The idea is to make it a creative hub, a creative center for Nigerian youths. The business verticals that they will be providing for will be fashion designing, entertainment, that's music, cinema, and ICT. The whole essence of what we are saying is, if you are very good in fashion designing, you don't have the resources to go and invest and buy the machinery. All we are asking you is come to this center with your talent. The machineries are there. You don't need to begin to invest in machinery. You are also very good in writing. You are into production. You want to develop film or whatever. You don't have the resources to own a studio. The studios are there ready. Then you have a creative talent, but you don't have the need. What we have done, the banking community has done, is to see that the basic problem of lack of capital for Nigerians to be able to nurture their creative talent are completely eliminated. Hopefully, before the end of this year, that hub and center will be launched. So if you are that good, depending on the talent you have, you are welcome there to fully realize your potentials. Of course, if we are talking about the creative talents of Nigeria, we can see what Nigerian musicians are doing. I was very happy when we had the Ballon d'Or. I'm sure we all know the Ballon d'Or. It's a global event where the most outstanding footballer in the world is rewarded. Who was the star performer? Rema. Rema was the star performer. Where is Rema from? Rema is in Nigeria. So you can see the talents. You can see the creativity of the Nigerian youths. And most of us sitting down here, we have those talents. Some of us are waiting for people to affirm us. No matter what it is, rise up and begin to showcase those talents. You've seen Asake. Asake started. Asake didn't have a home in Lagos. He was squatting. But today, Asake has become a national and international figure. I'm sure we have many more Asake in our incarnation. I'm sure we have many more Asake within University of Delta State. So I move quickly to Agric. Nigeria is endowed with substantial arable land. If you fly across the country, you see lush vegetation. But unfortunately, what you see in this lush vegetation is wide weeds. I know where people will talk about the fact that Agric is hindered now because of obvious security challenges. But the question is, our Agric lands are lying fallow. Nigeria stands as a country that can become the world organic food basket tomorrow. You look at our waters. We have our water bodies. What our water bodies can boast of is water hyacinth. These are water bodies that we can clean up and use it for aquaculture. And indeed, some people claim that the kind of jumbo prawns you find in Nigeria, you don't find it in any other waters. We need to be able to create a conducive environment for some of our youth to go into Agric. It is not about looking for who to employ. You can employ people. Agric remains a huge opportunity for us. Agric, you see, whatever it is, when a woman is broke, you give him money, the first thing he will do is to fill his stomach. So whatever you do in the business of Agric, you will always succeed. So we have a huge population to feed. If we don't begin to grow food to feed them, what we'll end up importing food being grown from elsewhere. A few weeks ago, I was in Abidjan, and I was told about a location where they grow cassava, but they don't eat cassava. So if we who eat cassava as fufu and sakpo and gari, we cease to grow it, we may end up going to Abidjan to begin to import it. God forbid. So, nonetheless, a promising shift is underway as young farmers and entrepreneurs increasingly are embracing agric, injecting vitality into the sector. With approximately 70% of its population under the age of 30, Nigeria, with this useful demographic, whose energy and innovation hold the key to transformation, can change agric. Young Nigerians are not just taking up farming, they are emerging as agric entrepreneurs. Startups like AgriCorp have successfully integrated technology in the agric value chain. Founded by Kenneth Obiajulu and Wole Omotimiri in 2018, AgriCorp is a Nigerian-specific producing, processing, and exporting Nigerian products. Not only farming is not being done like the way it was done by our grandparents. Farming is now being done in a more sophisticated manner where you are applying technology to drive your business, to know what to produce, to know what time to produce. So you have further figures like Iola Aboyeji, co-founder of Andela and Flutterwave, who have shifted focus to funding Future Africa, an investment fund supporting agripreneurs tackling sectorial challenges. Similarly, Ada Osakwe, former vice president and Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority, launched Nuli Juice, promoting nutritious juices made from locally sourced agricultural produce. Embracing technology, the youth are employing mobile application, drones, and data analytics to enhance farming efficiency, monitor crops, predict weather patterns, and optimize resource allocation, thus attracting younger generation to agric. Furthermore, the younger generation in Nigeria is delving into various aspects of agric business, encompassing processing, marketing, and distribution. They grasp the potential for adding value to agricultural commodities, establishing a market for locally processed goods, and reducing post-harvest losses. Consider Africa's significant role as the foremost cocoa producers globally. The International Cocoa Organization reports that for 2022-23 season, the world produced 4.9 million tons of cocoa beans, with Africa's contribution being 3.6, accounting for 74%. Despite this substantial share, Africa's cocoa sector largely exports unprocessed cocoa beans, attracting lower prices and offering limited benefits. While the global cocoa industry is over 200 billion, African earnings are mere 10 billion. Here, let me explain this more clearly. Yes, I'm preaching agric. Even when we are producing, we should not be producing in the primary form. Money is being made by the man who is adding value. Cocoa beans in Africa, 74% of it is being exported, which accounts for 74% of cocoa bean produced in the world. And the value of the cocoa business, when you look at the value chain, the cocoa powder, the different cocoa drinks, and the chocolate, is worth 200 billion. But 74% of that cocoa bean coming from Africa is yielding 10 billion. What are we doing? We are laboring for the West. To put it in a similar way, it's like saying we are growing, we know in our community we grow yam. And after growing the yam, we send the yam to Benin Republic. And Benin Republic will now bring pounded yam to us. They bring the pounded yam to us, they put one small ball, they tell us is 10,000. Whereas the tuber of yam we sold to them were probably sold at 500 naira. So we need to wake up to the reality that it is time to add value. I have a friend, a lady who used to work in a bank. She retired from her banking job. She went into farming in Ibadan. She's farming, her product is cassava. The cassava she's producing is not being used for gari or fufu. She has set up a processing factory where she produces what is called sorbitol. Sorbitol is a raw material used for making toothpaste. From the cassava she's growing, producing sorbitol, the companies in Nigeria producing toothpaste are falling heads over heels for her to sell to them. She's not meeting demand. So, youth, we need to begin to ask the question, whatever we are growing agriculturally, what can we produce it to become? The moment we start finding value in it, we create a substantial value for ourselves. Permit me, it's a very long lecture. I'm going to be paraphrasing and moving. This one is particularly dear to me. Micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises. The journey of 1,000 cells, it begins with a step. We need to begin to incubate micro, medium, and small-scale enterprises. This is a sector that stands as a cornerstone of employment opportunities for Nigerian youth, holding immense opportunities in the nation's economic landscape. It catalyzes indigenous entrepreneurship, local content development, output diversification, integration with larger industries. According to the collaborative survey by the Small and Medium Scale Enterprises Agency, SMIDA, the National Bureau of Statistics and National Bureau of Statistics in 2022, MSME constitute 96% of businesses and contribute 87.9% of employment. Moreover, they contribute significantly to the nation's GDP, accounting for 43.31%. However, despite this achievement, the MSME sector in Nigeria remains largely untapped, unlike counterparts in China. Data from the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, reveals that by 2022, China boasted over 140 million MSMEs, contributing more than 60% to the total GDP, driving over 79% of job creation. In stark contrast, Nigeria's MSME landscape paints a different picture, with only 39.6 million SME reported in 2022, contributing a mere 6.21% to total export. Nigeria lags behind in harnessing the potential of this vital sector. The gap becomes more apparent when compared to India's of 49.35% and China's 68% export contribution during the same period. Other countries with robust MSME bases, such as Canada, Morocco, the US, the Philippines, Indonesia, have recorded significant contribution from MSME to exports ranging from 15.6 to 40.8%. According to the 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, entrepreneurs and their small businesses and their small enterprises are responsible for all the economic growth in the United States. In order to address this, Zenith Bank will develop a product that we call SME Grow My Business. We have a particular focus on SMEs. The whole essence is to act as a mentor and also encourage and educate them. I have a small, I need you to play the video of the SMEs quickly. So the whole essence is, we are recognizing that if we don't begin to develop and groom the champions of tomorrow, the champions of today will soon become extinct. All we are saying is, no matter the discipline you choose, come, Zenith will support you. We support the SMEs by providing funding requirements. We support you by educating you and letting you know how to organize your business. Indeed, last week we had a talk show for them where we spoke to them about how to brand the business. We organized different lectures telling them about succession planning, building a business that grows beyond you. What you see in most of the SME you have is that once the owner of the business goes, that is the end of the business. The SMEs you have, we need to begin to build succession planning into it. Do you have the video? Can you play the audio?
And the leader in your are you interested in getting your products or services to more people, expanding your business, becoming more profitable, and the leader in your industry? If yes, then simply open a Zenith Bank SME Grow My Business account and get the extra edge you need. Access loans at competitive rates, get a free business website, free listing on Google My Business to make your offerings visible to over 100 million Nigerians online, free digital trainings on effective marketing techniques, access to business tools to improve operational efficiency, and so much more. Visit any of our branches today to get your Grow My Business account or www.zenithbank.com/SME to learn more. Are you interested in getting your products or services?
Okay. So. The message I'm passing across is that if you are here and you have a small business, you are looking for how to scale and grow, Zenith Bank is there to support you. I have my colleagues here who have branches all over. Wherever you are, approach them and we'll begin to support you. But what I will also encourage and admonish is that do not eat your tomorrow today. I've seen a number of cases where people come in and say, I have this idea, I have this business, I'm going to make 10 million naira. I need about 5 million to start it. You give the 5 million, he has not done the business, he has taken 2 million because he thinks he will make 10 million. Already that business is in jeopardy. Delay gratification. Put yourself on a salary. Of course, once you are enrolled in our SME, we take you through those rudiments. The other one is about entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is about you owning a business, doing something for yourself. There is no employer that can pay you enough for you to become as rich as the employer. Wealth creation is in the hands of the entrepreneur. The man who creates wealth controls wealth. For as long as you are an employee, you earn your salary. So I'm encouraging you here. Yes, you may start today as an employee. Begin to think of how you own your destiny by becoming an entrepreneur. You have an idea, you can sow. It may not be something so significant. Start small. You can take plantain and you want to process it differently. Do it differently. Start small and do it well and do it consistently. You will see the gain of entrepreneurship. There's no way our nation will emerge as an economic powerhouse if we don't preach the concept of entrepreneurship. So that is what I'm preaching to you, the youth, that entrepreneurship stands as a universal catalyst for progress, embraced by nations all over the country. We talk about Chinese today. I see a number of young Chinese people who come in. You see them, there's nothing flamboyant about them. So many of them are moving into different sectors of our economy, and the kind of business they are doing is unimaginable. In 2005, there's a particular Indian who came. He didn't know anybody. He approached me. I was the one who invited someone who incorporated, the lawyer that incorporated his business for him. And I said, what business are you going to do? He said, I will be melting scrap. This man started melting scrap. He did the first shipment. He exported. He earned $200,000. Today, this same man is melting scrap. He's exporting $30 million monthly from Nigeria. What are we waiting for? So when you see foreigners come here, they take a place. You think they like us because of our food? You think they like us because of... They are interested in our resources. This man has bought almost in an area in Ogun State, around Ogijo. Since he's been there, he's bought over 20 hectares of land. He feels so blessed doing business in Nigeria that he has built a hospital for the community. We don't want foreigners coming to build hospitals for us. It's good. Let us build our hospitals ourselves. Let's pick up our tools. Let's till the ground. Let us work. So you see your empty cans you are throwing about. You see some people who look like scavengers. They are picking it, and what are Nigerians doing? We are picking, we are selling to them as scrap. Somebody is recycling them. Why can't we think of entrepreneurship in recycling? And whoever is interested, no matter what you do, knock on the doors of Zenith. We will stand with you and guide you through. But you must show discipline. So you have notable entrepreneurs that we can relate with. Again, even when you don't know what it is, you can learn under someone. Remember the tutelage, the Igbo side, the one boy, where somebody comes to learn a trade, he goes under somebody who is experienced. After serving the man for some years, they will go and set him up. And when they set up, he still continues to relate with his oga. In fact, you can't beat the entrepreneur's skill of the average Igbo man. Have you ever gone to the shop owned by an Igbo man? When you look for an item, you say you don't. I say we have it in our other shop. It is not another shop. He has gone to hustle for it. He will bring it and tell you this is it. And the owner of the shop who follows him to see where he's giving it to, he's there calling him my boy. That is the owner of the shop. After calling him my boy, they pay. If the item is 10 naira and the man succeeds in selling 15 naira, after selling, the man goes, oh yeah, Oga, take your 10 naira, give me my 5 naira. So we need to be dogged. We don't need to fold our arms. And from there, they grow into importation. From there, they are trying so many other things. Look at Cosmas Maduka. Cosmas Maduka was a houseboy. Today, Cosmas Maduka is running one of the biggest companies in Nigeria. He has a franchise, is the sole franchisee for Ford Motors. It is only through Coscaris that if you are looking for BMW, Ford, either as a service center to acquire, that's the only recognized one. Yet, this man was a boy to someone. Therefore, don't be ashamed to be seen as learning under someone. If there's something you need to learn in order for you to become independent, do that and do it very, very quickly. I'm sure we know about Innocent Motors. Somebody, Innocent was speaking, somebody said, it looks like this man didn't go to school. And I say, what does it matter? He's doing things that those who went to school are not able to do. Innocent is the only one who is assembling locally assembled plant. And indeed, with the difficulties we are having in the country, with the shortage in foreign exchange, whoever is not patronizing Innocent will need to have a second rethink. So for us in Delta, what are we doing, the youth? The Bible says the fields are wide, the harvests are plenty, but there are few laborers. The opportunities are there, but there are few people daring to step in as an entrepreneur. The universe is just waiting for you to take the first, to make the first move. And again, if you are talking about entrepreneurship, I remember many years ago, today Zenith Bank across the world, I think I would say our staff strength is over, we have a staff strength of close to 30,000. Zenith Bank was started 34 years ago by our own son and father, Dr. Jim Ovia. Imagine that Dr. Jim Ovia decided to stay as an employee. He would have retired now. Maybe where we'll be finding him will be in the elders' councils in the village. But today, Zenith is not just the biggest bank in Nigeria. We've been able to spread our tentacles. We are in UK, doing very well. We are in Ghana. We are in Gambia. We are in Sierra Leone. We are in Dubai. We are in China. That is the work of entrepreneurship. Aside from that, in looking at entrepreneurship, all of us will refer to Dangote. Do you know that Dangote started business at the age of 21? He started business in 1978. He started by selling. From being a trader, he has moved into manufacturing. From manufacturing cement, he's become a top oil and gas expert, running one of the biggest refineries in the world. Mike Adenuga started business 26, selling lace and soft drinks. So what are you selling? Are you selling gossip? Are you selling Yahoo Yahoo? Are you selling my father did not help me? My mother... Let's assume your father did not help you. What are you doing to help your son and your children? That should be your question. So we should look at the issue to say, oftentimes they say that the glass is half full or half empty. It depends on the perspective you want. I would want to say it's half empty so that I have a hunger to do more. If I say it's half full, a feeling of fulfillment comes in. So what are we doing? Then we go into the field of politics. Gowon was head of state at what age? 32. The youth, where are you? Why are you not going for elective position? Why are you settling to be party agent? Why are you settling to be political talks? Why are you not in the House of Assembly, the House of Rep, in the Senate, where you determine laws that will govern the future of tomorrow? You only have yourself to blame. So if you fast forward, even I talked about our brother, Jim Ovia started Zenith Bank in his 30s. The same thing, my dear brother and friend who will be buried tomorrow, of Herbert Wigwe. Herbert Wigwe and his business partner, in 2022, they step out from their comfort zone as executive directors in GT Bank and bought Access Bank. Today, they transform it. I have known Herbert Wigwe for more than 30 years. We sat together, we wrote ICANN together. When they bought Access Bank and I saw him, I said, oh boy, is this not too heavy for you? He calls me Ebin. He said, Ebin, all I can promise you is we will try, we will not fail. Today, they have made a good story of their acquisition of. So, what are you doing the use of Delta, the use of Ekalan? Who are we blaming? A time will come when your son will blame you. And at that time, those you have blamed would have gone their own way. So we need to have a wake-up call and change. We need to change our paradigm. Something has to move. Something has to give in. You know, it reminds me of a scripture in, I think it's in the book of 2 Kings chapter 7. When the Bible said there was famine in the land, people did not have food to eat. People were even eating their children. And there were 3 lepers at the city gate. And because they were famine, people were not going in and out of the city. Therefore, they couldn't find arms. What was the question they asked themselves? Why sit we here and die? They analyze it and say, if we go into the city, and remember there was famine, there was war. In our own case, they will say, well, you say we were almost like that, but let's pack it somewhere. These lepers with disfigured hand and legs, the first question is, why sit we here and die? Which means they have a determination to survive their situation. So are we asking that question? Why can I sit here and my life will not prosper? Why can I sit here and people cannot count on me? What did these lepers do? They analyze the situation and say, if we go into the city, there is no food, we will not find food. If we go into the camp of the enemy, we might find food or they will kill us. Which was the tougher of the two? The camp of the enemy, where that is highly unknown. They step out to the camp of the enemy. If you read that story, the Bible said as they step out in the camp of the enemy, they were going with their disfigured legs and hands. God caused the enemy to hear the noise of a great army. Tell me the greatness in the army in 4 confused, crooked, walking lepers. The enemies abandoned everything. And these lepers got there. What did they find? They were looking for food. They found food. They found raiment. They found much more than what they were looking for. They were the one who went back to the city to tell them that, look, we have found so much. The same way, we should be asking the question, the youth, why should we sit here and die in poverty? Analyze the situation. Face the toughest option. Nothing good comes so easy. If something good comes so easy, you should scrap the surface of your ground somewhere in your compound and you drill oil. If you need to find oil, you have to go deep in the sea. Even when you have the inland and shallow well, it's also not easy to drill it. So the question should be, why should we youth sit and die? What options are you making? What are you pursuing? Another area you can pursue is, I think it's better for me to speak extempore to some of the points, is export of our non-oil products. Today in the country, we are talking about scarcity of foreign exchange. Why is foreign exchange scarce? That's why you see dollar going the way it is. The amount of dollar we are buying is more than the supply of dollar we have in the market. That is the long and short of it. Why are we also buying more dollars? Because we are importing much more than we are exporting. So if we are to export, especially, yeah, I know if we talk of export, people will talk of oil. How about non-oil export? Last year, the country recorded $4.5 billion of non-oil export, which is quite paltry. But let me say to you, out of that 4.5 billion, Zenith Bank accounts for 50% of that. Because we are determined as an institution to drive a renaissance, to drive a resurgence of a change in mentality for Nigerians to think of other ways of making money. We have also developed what we call the Zero to Hero program. What that program speaks to is that if you have never done export at all, we bring you in and teach you the rudiments of export. Depending on your interest, we can tell you what you can export. Not only do we tell you, we teach you how to document it. Apart from teaching you, we help you get the export market offshore. So how many of you are interested in that? Better see Lucky and all my colleagues here and enroll. We just finished a lesson where we had over 1,000 people enrolling. So we need to be able to export the things we eat and produce what we eat. For as long as we don't do that, exchange rate will be going like, you know when they do the blood pressure monitor, when you do ECG, it has a way of moving up and down. That is how our exchange rate may continue to move if we don't begin to support non-oil export. And what can you export? Different items. And in exporting, it's about value creation. It's about value creation. I got somewhere in Atlanta, and we went there. It was myself and my wife, and we were served yam. We asked the woman, "Where did you get yam from?" She said, "Okay, let me look at it." She opened it. The yam was exported from Ghana, but it was from Nigeria. Why was that done? Because in the US, they say the packaging of Nigerian products is defective. So if you are going to do it very well. We should put quality. So those are the kind of things that will nurture you and drive you to produce. So the non-oil export is there. Think about it. There are quite a number of items you can export. Then we have the homegrown production. I already spoke to that. Think of the items we are importing. Just take a view. Go to when you get home today, ask yourself, what are the items I'm consuming that are imported? And these are the opportunities. We need to reverse it. Nobody is going to change it for us. The year that there was a ban on importation of rice, that particular year, the rice farmers in Thailand came to Nigeria to complain that their market has been distorted. How can you be complaining that we stop importing rice from you? Because we will become a dumping ground to you. The same thing, I've forgotten the other product. And these are rice we can produce. So we need to start thinking about homegrown production. We need to start consuming. I hear now that rice is about 80,000. With rice being 80,000, how many of us can afford 80,000 to buy a bag of rice? So if you are buying rice 80,000, how much is a cup of rice? So the need for us to think about homegrown production is coming out of the fact that Nigeria has a huge population. There is something that is coming that will harness the whole of Africa. I'm sure we know about the African Continental Free Trade Area. African Continental Free Trade Area is the initiative of the Committee of African Government under the UN, or under the AU, African Union, where a market will be created for African products. Today, it will surprise you to hear, but that's the reality, that 85% of African exports are not being done within Africa. When anybody wants to import anything now, he's thinking of whether he can get it in China, in Taiwan, or India. Meanwhile, some of these items can be gotten in the rest of Africa. So that is what African Continental Free Trade Zone is trying to do, to create that visibility for African products and services. Here again, Zenith is taking the forefront in partnering with AFCTA. We are building a trade portal where you can showcase your products and services for the rest of Africa to see. So if you are not producing, there's nothing you have to offer, we build that trade portal, you are going to have a situation where SMEs and entrepreneurs from other countries will be the ones showcasing. And when they will be showcasing, where do you think the main market will be? In Nigeria. So we need to begin to think youth, homegrown production. Don't ask me the list of what you can grow, but start thinking about you. Look at what is it. The answers are within you. So, case studies and success stories, I've talked about China, I've talked about India, and we have also talked about the pioneering role of the likes of Dr. Jimovia, the founder of Zenith Bank, Fola Adiola, Tayo Aderino. Come and fight us, but come and compete and contest. Come and compete. You have something to offer. Step forward. Do not be dismayed. Do not be discouraged. If you don't step forward, if you don't speak, nobody will speak for you. There's never a way your voice can be heard in the echo of another person's voice. What matters is the echo of your own voice. Begin now to get ready. The decibel of your echo should sound louder so that when we are looking for somebody who is skillful in an item, say, there is this person somewhere in a car nation. He can do this. This person somewhere in a car nation. He can do this. Let's engage him. So this was what informed the President Muhammadu Buhari to come up with the bill, the age reduction bill that conferred not too young to run. Youths, you are not disenfranchised. Step forward. Road to national renaissance. It may be argued that the most important policy any government could introduce to mitigate the negatives and enhance the positives of age structural transition is the enhancement of human capital and education. It goes without saying. We must change the way our educational curriculum is. The way it is designed for you to finish cap in hand begging for work. We need to now start training the youth. Entrepreneurship should be built into the curriculum. Digital literacy should start from a very, very early stage. It should be started from the primary school level. The more we have the improvement and awareness in our digital technology and maturity, the better it becomes for us, the hungrier we will get in terms of making good use of our IT skills. So I move quickly to conclusion. You should not be disillusioned by the challenges they encounter. Rather, they should see this as challenges and motivation to chart a new course, taking bold steps to drive the spirit of resurgence. By 2050, according to the United Nations, Nigeria will be one of the few countries in the world that has young workers in plentiful supply. This youth, rather than oil and gas, should be the country's most valuable resource in the 21st century. It is crucial, therefore, that investment in human capital is significantly increased. The federal government should establish benchmarks for raising expenditure in education and healthcare. Educational priorities must focus on skill development, leading to employment through expanding vocational training and addressing the stark disparities in access to education. The true measure of a society's progress lies in how well it nurtures and develops the skills of youth. Desmond Tutu of South Africa said this. Nigeria can significantly boost its economic progress and social harmony by investing in young people. The nation is on the cusp of what could be the most profound transformation in its history. With the right policies for the burgeoning youth demographic, Nigerians' ambition to become an economic powerhouse and cynosure of social stability is attainable. The grievances that intensify the EndSARS process must not resurface. The youth of Nigeria are yearning for a better future and they deserve it. The government must act to ensure that Nigeria harnesses the enormous potential of its youth population. I know that we have Ministry of Youth Development. I think we need to reinvigorate them. We need to rejig them. We need to begin to challenge them in terms of saying, tell us the program you have for youth empowerment and emancipation. How many youths do we have? I know that the deputy governor is here. I don't know if the commissioner for youth development is here. I'm setting a big task for you. You need to create an agenda where we can monitor and say, from now, give us a report on a yearly basis, where we can have a town hall meeting and say, this is how we have progressed and enhanced the economic empowerment of our youth. I can see my demographic dividend or bomb will rest on the country's ability to harness the potential of its youth population into prosperity and ignite a national renaissance. In conclusion, I offer the following advice to youth. Your attitude determines your altitude. So cultivate an attitude of positivity and resilience. No matter what you see, try not to be negative about it. Do not be constrained by the opinions of others. Instead, embrace your potential for excellence. Do not become a prisoner of other people's opinion. Don't let other people say there's nothing good in you. Prove that there's something good in you. You have the endowment. Even if you've done it, you've done wrong before, you have an opportunity to reverse it. As you journey towards greatness, seize every opportunity to excel. Remember, true greatness is a gradual process. It requires consistent effort and determination. Take charge of your future. Resist being negatively influenced by others. Watch the company you keep. Be courageous. Make bold decisions. Never underestimate your worth. Nigerian youth should begin to aspire to elective positions to enable them shape the future ahead of them. Draw inspiration from individuals who attain notable success early in life. I talked about Yakubu Gowon that became head of state. Emmanuel Macron, president of France, is just 39. Philip Asiodu, Alison Aida, Ahmed Jordan. These are people who attain the ones they call super PAMSEC. They occupy this position in their 30s. Why do we want the youth when they become gray-haired men, when they can't walk straight, to begin to occupy this position? Rise up and let's have change in the environment. Let there be a renaissance of change. Your action today will shape your tomorrow. Strive for excellence. And what we must understand, wherever we are is a reflection of the decisions we've taken over the period. You don't just suddenly say, I want to be a medical doctor, you microwave it. You must consistently apply yourself to the study and discipline of being a medical doctor. So you want to be an entrepreneur, start today and do it steadily. There is the famous Chinese proverb that said, the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. If you miss that time, the next best time is now. Youth, this is your time. The future is waiting for you. So surround yourself with positive influences, take decisive action, avoid procrastination. Failure is not in trying, not in trying and failing, but failing to try. Lead by example if the future of the community, as the future of the community depends on you. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for listening.
That was simply wonderful. Simply wonderful. Dr. Ebenezer Onyago, the Group Managing Director, CEO of Zenith Bank PLC, taking us on that lecture on transforming potential into prosperity, harnessing Nigeria's youthful population for economic growth and national renaissance. Please, one more time, let's give him a loud ovation, please. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have a short documentary that would take us into the fundraising proper, the fundraising for the development of Ika Language and Cultural Center. It is a very short one and it's going to play right now. Let's sit back and watch.
The need to preserve our cultural heritage is something many people have come to recognize as vital and pivotal to the cultural and socio-economic development of our people. In spite of this acknowledgement, the resolve and sometimes the resources to embark on such lofty ventures may be lacking. Today, the University of Delta has decided to take the bull by the horn and tackle this worthy initiative. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Management and Senate, you are welcome to this historic venture. Welcome to the fundraising ceremony of the long-awaited Ika Cultural Center, University of Delta. The major purpose for establishing this center is to preserve, promote, and expose the rich cultural heritage of the Ika people, and also attract the interest of researchers in Ika language and culture. To achieve these objectives, the center is divided into 4 major units: the museum for the preservation and exhibition of Ika artifacts, the library for studies and research into Ika culture, the language lab for proficiency in the Ika language, as well as other languages such as Ukwane, Uropo, Edo, Igbo, and foreign languages, and the auditorium for seminars, conferences, workshops, etc. Join us, therefore, as we take the first step towards actualizing this dream as we embark on the fundraising for the Ika Cultural Center. You may wish to redeem your pledge to the following bank account number: Zenith Bank, account number 1011-036-486. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We may need to applaud that as well, please. Let's put our hands together. All right, we've now come to the second part of the Founders Day celebration, which is the fundraising for development of Ika Language and Cultural Center. I'd like to respectfully invite the chairman for this occasion to kickstart this process. Mr. Chidoebi Esquire. Please. Let's put our hands together for our chairman, please.
Your Excellencies, our guest speaker, the Vice Chancellor, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Madam Vice Chancellor, thank you for this initiative of preserving our culture and tradition. Now, I've been taken unawares and by surprise, but we will support this initiative, and we will support this initiative. And when I say we, I speak on behalf of the ABA family, and we'll support it with 10 million naira.
Please put your hands together once more. Students, we are not getting you. Great Nigerian students, this is where we need you very well. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Just kick-starting and supporting this great event with the sum of 10 million naira. Oh, you did not hear earlier. We are going with the MD CEO, Zenith Bank PLC, and our guest lecturer, the homeboy, the son of the soil. Please, we'll need you to come back, or we can come with the microphone there to you. Yamanene, achakongegwe mo kanifene. I'd like to appreciate the Secretary to Government, Dr. Kingsley Ezemo Alwa.
Okay.
Hello.
You know, when I started saying Nkanya Alako, this is about Ika language, we cannot allow it to go into extinction. And I was conferring with my wife, and I said, what does it constitute? What does it take to set up a chair? So she told me she doesn't understand how it works. Maybe I'll clarify from the VC and the academia on how it works. And I also know that in the audience, my elder brother is here. So I don't know where he is now.
Culture. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor and respect to invite the man who had the dream, the man who promoted the vision, the man who executed this vision, our own father, our champion, our mentor, the man who is a reservoir of so many visions and dreams. May I respectfully invite the immediate past governor of Delta State, our leader, the most distinguished Senator Dr. Arthur Ifeanyi Okowa, Ekweme Gburugburu, to please step forward, sir, Your Excellency.
Put your hands together for His Excellency.
Please put your hands together.
Ekweme of the universe.
Yes, he is the man who had the dream, and he drove it to a very successful end, and is continuing.
Your Excellency,
the governor of Delta State, here represented by our brother and friend, Sir Monday Oyeme, the deputy governor of Delta State, the chairman of this occasion, the vice chancellor, my brother who delivered a very, very thought-provoking lecture at this second Founders Day. I'm very proud of you. And truly, I think everybody should have a copy of that lecture. It's something that we need to think about. Something that if we apply it in our lives and if we can truly look in that direction, we'll have a much better nation in the next few years to come. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, but more importantly, the students of this great institution. Looking through this place before I make my donation, I feel very excited, and I must truly thank the management of the university as led by the VC and also the governing council for what I see. Just from 2021 to the beginning of 2024, there's a lot of transformation in this place. And with the student population, I had to do a count because they didn't do the total count, but I counted it and I found that we have 8,934 students in just 3 academic sections. And I know that it's just not the numbers. I'm confident in the person of the Vice Chancellor because I know what she did at the Ogwashku Polytechnic. And by God's providence, we had to move her from Ogwashku Polytechnic before she finished her tenure to become VC of this university. And I thank God for the chairman of the governing council for what I see. When it did happen that God laid it on our heart to create 3 universities in one day, people thought we were crazy. I got all manner of phone calls, and they truly thought the administration was crazy. But we looked beyond yesterday. We looked into the future. And I do know that in another 7 years, making it 10 years, we will know the impact of these institutions in this state because we know that we took the right decision. And I remember when we went to the National Universities Commission and met with the executive secretary then. He looked at me and said, Mr. Governor, do you know why we had to approve this? It's very unusual. We have never done it before. But we saw that he put a lot of thought into it. Rather than establishing brand new universities from the scratch, you took a new model and upgraded existing institutions. We are proud of your thought. And that is why we're giving approval for the 3 universities. So we thank God for what we see. And I know that the Car Language Center is something that is very dear to us. Not because we want to canonize the university, but there is a reason why a lot of people had proposed it. And I can see the Car group here as led by one of our fathers, and they are very interested in what is going on here. I thank my brother, the MD of Zenith Bank, but I know that we're expecting a lot from our father. Tell him we're expecting a lot from him. He's doing a lot here already because the digital economy that he spoke about and digital education, we know that he's contributing a lot to ensuring that it is developed in this institution. And I can trust that the VC, who is a professor in that particular area, is going to do a lot with all the support that you're giving. But tell him that this concerns us, and we're looking forward to him as a father. On behalf of my family, and friends. And friends, because not just my family, I have a lot of friends who will try to raise the sum of 30 million naira. Thank you so much.
Women. Please, shall we put our hands together for our leader, foremost leader, His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Dr. Ato Ifeanyi Okowa, immediate past governor of Delta State. Once again, please, can we appreciate our father? Thank you. Great Nigerian students, you did not hear of 30 million. Let's give Tariq Boza to the immediate past governor. Can we go? Boza, Boza, Boza. All right. It is my honor and privilege to invite a man who does not make noise at all, but he operates very, very tremendously onto success. Let me invite our representative in the National Assembly, the Right Honorable Barrister Victor Nwokolo. And then after this, the member representing Ika South in the State House of Assembly, Honorable Festus Soko, aka Chuki Dandy, to stand by.
The Executive Governor of the Delta State, ably represented by the Deputy Governor of the State, Sir Monde Onyeme, our immediate past Governor of the State, our leader, son of the soil, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, guest lecturer of the day, the original homeboy, the Chief Executive of Zenith Bank Group, Mr. Ebenezer, we welcome you and we strongly appreciate the tutelage you have given to us this morning, how to confront the economy, how to be self-reliant. I've come to launch our project, but before doing so, let me commend the Anglican Communion, who have thought it wise to translate our Bible into Ika language for over 5 years and commend the role of Honoring Ika in sustaining Ika culture. On this note, on behalf of my family and friends, I donate the sum of 10 million naira.
Thank you very much. That is our rep in the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Victor Nwokolo, Esquire. Please, shall we put our hands together once more for him? It's 10 million naira, not 10,000. Please, students, can I hear you? Yes, a lot of money. All right, may I respectfully invite the member representing the Ika South State Constituency in the House of Assembly, Honorable Festus Chukuyem. You call him Chuki Dandy. Please, the forms are going around. Fill the forms and indicate what you can give to us. Please, it is important you fill the form to make sure this hope is kept alive and executed.
Please permit me to stand on the already existing protocol. I want to thank everybody here donating for this project. First of all, I have to thank the Almighty God that all these things are happening in my time. I will give glory to God. On behalf of the good and the wonderful people of Ika South that I represent, I am making a donation of 5 million. And also, every year, the best
graduating students in economics will have 1 million. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, shall we put our hands together for the member representing Ika South in the State House of Assembly, Honorable Festus Chukuyem. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are not done yet. The Honorable Commissioner for Power and Energy, our own comrade Ehiwario, Jerry Ehiwario, wants to make his own donation. Jerry Mdodo Biadele. Dr. Ambassador Donald Peterson, Aloha.
His Excellencies, the Deputy Governor and the immediate past Governor, their present, I want to sincerely appreciate you, most importantly as a state, to midwife this institution. And also, to our very wonderful guest lecturer and our leaders who are here present who have made wonderful donation to see how we can actualize the set target for this year's Founders Day. We must thank you for coming back home to identify with our people. Having said that, on behalf of myself and my family, and of course, our good people of Ika South, whom I'm representing in the ESCO chamber, I will make a humble donation of 4 million naira.
Maybe you did not hear. Great Nigerian students, 4 million naira from friends and family members of Comrade. You know the Comrade is from the student community. Jerry Ehiwario, and Alaji Kamba is a friend of our brother in the House of Reps, Right Honorable Victor Nwokolo. He has donated the sum of 1 million naira to this venture. Alaji Kamba, we are full of appreciation to you. Thank you. Your Excellencies, the list is becoming endless. May I respectfully invite the Secretary to Government. You know, Secretary Lalane, who Koswe Hoswe, Amanego Kesuswe. Dodoni. Okmanuko himself. Dr. Kingsley Eze-Emo, Secretary to Government of Delta State. Please, the forms, as you pick them, fill them. Please. Nothing is too small. Nothing is too small, please. The head collective leadership of Onwekad, Jokpa Usifo, Alwa.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, ably represented by our dear Deputy Governor and our own Chief Onyema. His Excellency, the immediate past Governor, our father, our leader, and our mentor, and indeed a lead founder of the university. And I think we should applaud that position. Let me specially thank my dear brother Chedu, the NDDC chairman, and then the guest lecturer. You gave us today what I describe as a collector's item. When I saw a piece of paper milling around your desk from Lucky, I told the representative of the speaker, I hope they do not want to stop this lecture as far as I'm concerned, that's the biggest deliverable today. Building, we shall. But that lecture, soft issue, invaluable. And I thought that, and I told him I would take it away. And I'm happy that the immediate past governor of the state, our father, also said same. When Dr. Senator Ifeanyi Okowa came here, I had hoped that he said himself, his family, and his boys. I thought I was covered. So when I was called upon, I went straight to him to ask him whether I was still part of that group. He cleared the coast for me. I'm going to be doing, on behalf of my family, and for those who are unable to do, the sum of 5 million. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Shall we put our hands together for the Secretary to Government? Great Nigerian students, make una appreciate the SSG now. Yes, thank you. Please, this form is still going on. This form is still going on. Help us to fill it, to fulfill our dreams. Please, do not throw it away. Help us to fill them. We will get back to you. And you already have the account number written there. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on. It's now my honor and privilege to invite His Excellency the Governor and visitor to the university, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff Francis Orakwedo Boroweri, JP, Governor of Delta State, ably represented by His Excellency Sir Monday John Oyeme, FCA, Odoziani of Ibabu, Deputy Governor, Delta State, for his own remarks. Your Excellency, sir.
His Excellency, the immediate past governor of Delta State, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, Right Honorable Victor Mokolo, member representing Ika Federal Constituency in the Federal House of Rep, the representative of the Speaker of Delta State House of Assembly, Honorable Charles Metulu, members, other members of Delta State House of Assembly here present, Chairman of this occasion and Chairman of the NDDC, Barrister Chiedu Ebie, our guest lecturer, Dr. Ebenezer Onyango, Chief Executive of Zenith Bank, Honorable Commissioner, Higher Education, Professor Nyerowo Tonukari, the Secretary to the State Government, other members of the State Executive Council here present, the Deputy Chief of Staff, the Pro-Chancellor of University of Delta, Professor E.A.C. Nwanze, the Vice-Chancellor, University of Delta, Professor Stella Chiemeka, other members of the governing council of this great university, other invited members of councils of other sister universities, lecturers, clergies, royal fathers here present, our dear students, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I bring you greetings from His Excellency, the Governor of Delta State, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff F.O. Oborewori. He has asked me to be here to represent him on this occasion of the second Founders Day of this promising university. So I'll just go through his address. In less than 3 years of existence of this university, the university has grown steadily and is building a reputation for creativity and academic excellence. I am particularly impressed by the initiative to establish the Eka Language and Cultural Center. This is highly commendable because nationally our various indigenous languages are facing threats of extinction. With more and more of our children relocating abroad and many of our elites preferring to communicate in English language rather than our own indigenous language in their daily interactions, even at home, it will not be long before we lose our mother tongues if urgent steps are not taken to address this trend. And therefore, the establishment of the Eka Language and Cultural Research Center is a wake-up call for all of us to ensure that our children are made to learn and speak our indigenous dialects. This is a significant step towards preserving the heritage and culture of the Eka people. I therefore appeal for support in raising the money needed for this research center, which will serve as a platform for comprehensive study and documentation of Eka history, culture, and tradition. This project will ensure that Eka language and culture are preserved, and it is my pleasure to lay the foundation for this research center today. Let me also say that the emphasis on youth development in today's lecture is a spot on. We have been reminded that there is no food for the lazy man. Our youth have been reminded to wake up. We have been reminded by example of men and women who have, risen to great heights in this nation as youth. People who attain position of leadership, either in politics, in the military, in the industries, in businesses, when they are still within the age bracket of less than 35 years. And so, we've been reminded this morning that our youth have no excuses. We've been told not to continue to despair on the fact that probably your parents did not train you. And so we go home today, better and more determined to take our destiny into our own hands. It is for this reason that 8 members of this current ESCO, Delta State ESCO, our youth, because this government realized that we must give youth every opportunity, every encouragement for them to, exhibit their potentials. So far, the people that this government have engaged into the ESCO have not disappointed us. I trust that the guest lecturer, Dr. Ebenezer Onyago, an accomplished banker and financial expert, has done justice to this lecture, and everybody can attest to that. I look forward to seeing our youth making use of what we learned today to change the status quo in Delta State. I want to also use this opportunity to commend the governing council of this university, led by our erudite Professor Emeritus Emmanuel Nwanze and the Vice Chancellor Professor Stella Chiemeka, for their clear vision, focus, sincerity of purpose, and unwavering commitment to put the university on a sound and sure footing. My appreciation also goes to the management and staff of this institution for their hard work and dedication to duty. Clearly, this university has justified the reasons for its establishment, with increased enrollment, expanding academic curricula, infrastructural upgrade, and enhanced learning climate. But for the establishment of this university and two others in Ozora and Asaba, many of our youth would have been denied university education today, with all the implications that it has for peace and security of our state. Towards this end, the immediate past governor of the state, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Ato Okowa, CON, deserves a standing ovation for his visionary leadership and courage in establishing these three universities. Please, may we stand up to commend this great son of Delta State. Thank you, sir. Please, may we be seated. Thank you. The Vice Chancellor, in her speech, catalogues a lot of pressing needs for the school that require the support of government, the support of corporate entities, NGOs, public-spirited individuals. I wish to here join the Vice Chancellor in appealing for support, especially regarding the provision of coastal buses, which she mentioned, for the transportation of medical students to and fro the university. This will greatly facilitate the smooth operations of the medical programs and ensure convenience and safety of our students. I'm sure the Managing Director of NDDC and our guest lecturer are listening. Regarding the other requests that relate to staff recruitment and academic matters, I urge Madam VC to forward this request and proposals to the relevant ministries so that government can assess them and take appropriate actions as fast as necessary. I conclude my address by urging the university to ensure that the product of these schools possess the skills set to easily adapt to the dynamic and demands of the 21st century marketplace. Let me say here that I am sure, because I saw that this university is already on that path. The last time we went on inspection tour of the engineering faculty, we saw a lot of products that are being made by some of our students. And these are really, really homemade products. I want to say that, Madam Vice Chancellor, that is the way to go. You need to really encourage our students that are doing those programs so that, they can improve and begin to produce these products for our own use and even for export, because that is the way to go. It is no longer going to school to come and begin to seek for employment in government and other businesses. The fashion today will be go to school and come and establish businesses and industries for others to be employed. Be an employer and not a job seeker. The curriculum must be enriched with modules that prioritize critical thinking, innovation, technological competence, skill acquisition, and entrepreneurial abilities. Your graduates must be armed with these vital attributes in addition to possessing excellent communication skills and a firm grasp of global market trends, complemented by the know-how to solve complex problems in society. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, I congratulate you once again and wish you a very happy Founders Day celebration. God bless Delta State. God bless all of us. Thank you. Please, sorry. I just want to add, please sit down. Let me add that, yes, what we came here to do is actually to, raise money. And the governor, I tried to make contact with him, but I just got a message that it is our project. It is government project. So whatever we are doing, government is going to be an active participant in the entire project. That is the message I've been asked to give. But because I'm also an Eka son, because my father is standing right in front of me. As a son of the soil too, I also wish to make my humble donation. After all my senior brothers, SSG, everybody don't make donation. I won't be the one left out. So on behalf of myself and my family, I'm going to donate 5 million naira. Thank you.
Please, shall we rise and welcome back His Excellency. Yes, thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency. I think after this time, we'll be going for the groundbreaking. Yes. Your Excellency, the Honorable Commissioner for Works, Rural and Riverine, our own Comrade Charles Ehidu Anyago, has donated the sum of 2 million naira. Onweka, Nigeria, has donated the sum of 100,000 naira. 1 million naira. Sorry. 1 million naira. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Eka language is very important to us. Very, very important. And we need to have it back if it is from the citadel of learning here, they will teach us once more because we are almost losing it. For those of us who are in the town here, from our various communities, we are no longer speaking the language and it's moving away. So as we sit down here, we are being reminded that this very ancient language can never go into extinction. And Dr. Chief Frank Nwugo, Esquire, has donated the sum of 1 million naira. 1 million naira. Dr. Nwugo thanks a million.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hello. Hello. All right, just before we round off by taking the procession in reverse order, and then we move straight to the groundbreaking, the university would like to present award plaques to 3 distinguished personalities. First, His Excellency the Governor and visitor to the institution. The next one to the immediate past governor, and the third one to the guest lecturer, in that order.
A very quick one, Dr. Donald Peterson is donating 2 million naira to discuss. He's a special advisor to His Excellency the Governor on entrepreneurship and development.
Ladies and gentlemen, the University of Delta is not unappreciative of the kind gesture of the leaders of our state in honoring our invitation to this auspicious ceremony. As a result, the university wishes to show its appreciation to 3 personalities, as has been announced by the Master of Ceremony. But first, we call on Madam Vice Chancellor to assist in presenting the first plaque to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Delta State, who is ably represented by His Excellency, the Deputy Governor. So I humbly wish to request the Deputy Governor to come and receive the plaque. He's already here.
Your Excellency, sir, we present this award in recognition of your role as a visitor to the University of Delta Agbo. On behalf of the Senate, the management, staff, and students of University of Delta, to say thank you. We appreciate all that you are doing as the Executive Governor of Delta State and as the visitor to University of Delta Agbo. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next, I wish to humbly request the wife of our guest lecturer for today to help us present the second plaque to His Excellency Dr. Ifeanyi Arthur Okowa, our immediate past governor, in appreciation of his support, especially for his presence at this occasion. His Excellency, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
So on behalf of the University, of the Delta University, on behalf of the University of Delta, Agbo campus, I present this plaque to you, sir, in recognition of the initial role you played in founding the school and for your presence here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. The University of Delta Agbo has lots of awards to make in the future. But for now, suffice it to say that we are giving the third plaque to the man who has made our day today. One of the best lectures I've ever received in my life. So I want to invite the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Mrs. Patricia Mba, to present the plaque to the guest lecturer for today, Dr. Ebenezer Onyeagu.
Thank you.
Sir, in appreciation of the third Founders Day lecture as a lecturer and all the good things Zenith Bank has been doing for this University of Delta Agbo, we are grateful, sir. This is just a token of our love and appreciation to you for the ones you've been doing and the more that you will do. Thank you, sir.
So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to hand the microphone over to the Master of Ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, very quickly as we are running off, Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Speaker, Delta State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Imomotimi Guo, has also donated to the cause the sum of 1 million naira. Please, a big round of applause. And the man who represented the Speaker, Honorable Charles Ametsulu, who is also the Chairman House Committee on Education, has also donated the sum of 500,000 naira. Please, a round of applause. Of course, our own Adan Nyoma, the Right Honorable Evangelist John Onyemechi, the Honorable Commissioner for Technical Education, has donated a sum of 2.5 million naira. Please, a round of applause. Thank you very much. All right, let's get set now for the procession in reverse order. Yeah, we're getting ready.
All right, before we do that, I've been told that there should be a group photograph. They want to have a good photograph indoors here. Please, photographers, you do that quickly before we move for the groundbreaking. Please direct them now, direct our leaders, the governor, the Doctor.
All right. Just as the group photograph is taking place, once we're done with this, we have that reversed, the procession in reverse order, and then we are moving to the groundbreaking ceremony. There, it will be led by His Excellency the Governor, ably represented by the Deputy, the immediate past Governor, Mr. Speaker, of course, the Chairman of the occasion, the member representing Ika Nation in the National Assembly, the two members representing Ika South and Ika Northeast in the House, honorable commissioners, the Secretary to Government, in that order.
Immediately after this, please stop all movements because we will take the national anthem.
Yeah, that's right. Immediately after the national anthem, the procession in reverse order will take place.
All right, please, may we stop all movements. Let's take the national anthem. Please, while we remain standing, may we take the national anthem. Thank you.
All right, procession in reverse order. Please clear the aisle for the procession. Clear the aisle. Don't block the aisle.
Please, photographers, please clear the aisle. Procession in reverse order. And we move for the groundbreaking. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. God bless you.
We are looking forward to having you next year for the third Founders Day.